I just had a little bit about the American Civil War. Basically, the American Civil War was about two different methods of economy. In the South, they were depending upon the slavery system and the movement of cotton in order to make money. But what was happening was that a lot of the Africans that never got enslaved, the ones that escaped up into the mountains and became the Maroons, they were like killing loads and loads of Europeans in America. And so the Europeans were thinking, you know, we got to stop this, otherwise they're going to kill us. And they're going to kick us out of the Caribbean and they're going to take over. And so basically what happened was people like Adam Smith and John Maynard Keynes, they were two of the great sort of like economists at the time. And they were like, Adam Smith was actually against slavery because he said it's infinitely better to actually get the slaves to buy the goods that we produce rather than have them producing it and fighting us and all that sort of thing. And this new system of trade was first introduced in the North. And they knew that that was going to be the future because they were going to stop slavery. And then basically they were going to expand the whole idea of the plantation and make that planet-wide. You understand what I mean? Because, I mean, the fact that we get up every morning and go to work, that's a form of slavery because we're working in somebody else's interests. You've got to look at it that way.
Also, the economy is becoming economically viable.
Yeah.
Because at the time, one thing they tend not to talk up too much is that the amount it costs to maintain a military force or an army in all of these lands. Yeah. They had to maintain armies. Yeah, why? In Jamaica, just for example, my family were part of the Kuju. You had Nanny, the woman, one part of the island in Jamaica, and you had Kuju, the other part of the island, fighting the British tooth and nail, fighting the enslavers, tooth and nail. Yeah. So that wasn't what was happening in Jamaica. You had all the other islands. You had in Brazil. You had in Suriname. You had in Haiti. In Haiti, kicked the French, the Spanish, and the British off. Haiti, yeah, yeah. But then you had Suriname. Did exactly the same. You don't hear too much about Suriname, but they did exactly the same. So you had, economically, it was draining on the system. It had to change because they could not maintain those armies all over the planet putting people down. So we have to think of that too. Yeah?
And I think in the end, part of it comes down to good business.
Well,
good business sense.
Money.
And it's, exactly. Yeah. It's like Friedrich Engels, of course, who wrote the Communist Manifesto with Marx, and was in Manchester running his father's cotton factory in Salford. Yeah. And he was one of the famous quotations from his book is that he met somebody out in the streets, basically who was a businessman, with whom he was discussing how hideous the living conditions were. And the guy, who's obviously a businessman, his retort to him is, "And yet, sir, much money is made here. Goodbye," you know. And that's it. It all comes down to money.